Bronny James has just been exposed. Now, not by his teammate, not by any of his siblings, but by Austin Rivers. Now, this definitely isn't the first time that we have heard bro talking crazy about Bronny. And here's his latest comment. I don't want to see Bronny play with LeBron. He needs to niche out his own identity. Now, how does this even make any sense, man? He is talking kind of crazy, but I got to be honest, that seems like what Austin Rivers just does. And I'm going to let you hear it for yourself.
Him going and play with his dad, at this point in his career, just because Bronny's success isn't at a top-tier level,
right?
Him getting drafted and playing with his dad, he's not a top 10 pick. He's not a lottery pick. He's none of those things. I was all those things. And then still, when I went to go play for the Clippers, people were like, oh, you're only in the league because you're that. After me being the #1 player in the United States 2 years prior.
Now, it's funny that I always find Austin Rivers is bringing these situations back to himself. At the end of the day, man, Bronny's situation is completely different than Austin Rivers. And him just saying that he doesn't want him to play with LeBron, of course, this is Bron's basically dream. And the only reason why he's still in the NBA is just insane to me. Now, I wasn't the only one that thought this way, because Steven Jackson responded to Austin Rivers and said, and your daddy, not LeBron. Shut up. Difference is you trash Bronny not. You can't compare him to scrub. Man, that's tough. He was definitely not playing around, because this is Bron's dream. And I think obviously Austin Rivers was nice. You got to give him credit. I mean, his mixtapes were going crazy back in the day. But man, Bronny just has completely different type of level and just social media status, just overall basketball game and IQ and hype that, of course, Austin Rivers definitely did not have. Now, we got to take a look at how much Bronny is averaging, because it's important, man, and we got to consider all factors here. Now, Bronny is averaging only 5.9 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 37% from the field. Now, Austin's argument here is basically it's not going to help Bronny, and he needs to basically get out of the shadow of his father. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. I really don't think it matters what Bronny's going to do. They're always going to compare him to his father and to Bryce and all this. And at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, technically, you look at Bronny's numbers right now, bro is not going to the league right now. He's going to have to stay at USC for multiple years. And I definitely think he's going to have to improve, work on his game, because this is not going to get it done. But overall, I mean, you see 6'4", 210. Man, Bronny's not playing around. His athleticism, his jump shot is there. But man, that's tough. Now, look what they said. Comparing Doc Rivers to LeBron. Bro has it right here, because that's insane. We all know LeBron is one of the best of all time. And then you got Doc Rivers, who, yes, I mean, he was hooping, but he's definitely not as popular as LeBron. So it's hard to even compare the two in this situation. But bro, Austin Rivers is talking crazy. I get what he's saying on one hand, but man, you just got to realize this is a completely different situation, bro. And I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. I'm not going to lie. Now, look at this one, bro. Most people don't even know your dad played ball. We all know Doc Rivers. Yeah, he's a coach. Probably more people know him for that. But yeah, he did hoop in the NBA back in the day. And I mean, I give him respect where it's due. But yeah, we all know he is no LeBron. Let's just keep it a fact. Now, we got to talk about Mikey Williams. We all know, man, this is why I was taking a break. Mikey Williams transferred to USC. Mikey and J.J. Taylor is crazy, because I don't even think J.J. Taylor is actually going to USF, which is kind of, I might be confusing the two. But anyways, man, you see it here. You see Mikey Williams. I mean, he's at his new school, and let's take a look at it. He's showing off his ice. Now, I definitely meant to say USF, but you can see, I mean, Mikey Williams is out here. But I think the best question we need to ask ourselves is what? When is Mikey Williams going to play? A lot of people know he transferred. Of course, there was a ton of drama with Memphis going on. When is he going to play at USF? Now, I got the answer for you right here. Now, as a result, Williams was never allowed to suit up for Memphis. Now, this is, of course, because of all the stuff going with his legal case. and decided last week he wanted to transfer to UCF. However, UCF and other state college have a rule that says an athlete charged with a felony cannot be enrolled or eligible to play until the felony charge is either dropped or reduced. Now, this is super important because we have to remember, man, Mikey is not out of the clear yet. Now, this next piece right here explains this. Williams had originally faced 9 felony counts and up to 30 years in prison, but in exchange for him pleading guilty to one lesser felony count of making a criminal threat, 8 of the felony counts were dismissed. If Mikey Williams completes a G safety course, attends anger management classes, and does 80 hours of community service, the remaining felony would then be reduced to a misdemeanor. Now, this is super important. We have to remember, man, that Mikey is still dealing with this entire situation. Now, sentencing for this is not until August 12th in San Diego, wherever this spot is, the Superior Court. And what that means is this: unless the sentencing hearing is moved up, Mikey Williams would not be eligible to play until next season. Now, I think we all could have taken a guess. I mean, it's pretty late in the season already for Mikey Williams to just play for USF. In my opinion, I don't think it would even make too much sense for him to go play, because at the end of the day, man, this game, you have to be able, you want to make an impact when you get on the court. I mean, Mikey Williams, I doubt he's rusty at all, but at the end of the day, he has not been playing and hooping with this squad, has no chemistry, and for him to just step on the court, it might actually cause more harm than good, because at the end of the day, I doubt he's going to be killing like that. He's going to have to work his way into the college game just like any other hooper. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Mikey is really the star for this team, or they're going to have other people supporting him around him. But man, he definitely dodged a bullet with this one, and he's and he is making the most of it. Now, bro was like a 10th year senior and finally decided to go to college. And I guess clearly this is what a lot of people think about Mikey Williams, because you see it has 6,000 likes. Low key, I mean, man, to me, Mikey just had so much clout for so long that it seems like he was in high school a little bit longer. I don't really remember much about him reclassing or staying in high school, but man, he finally has a school where he's more than likely going to play as long as all of his legal issues go well, and that's definitely good news for him. Now, bro said here, Amani Bates all over again, and I gotta say, that's tough. You know, Amani Bates dealt with legal issues. It hurt him pretty significantly. And we saw he's in the G League and on kind of that two-way contract. But he's struggling to make it to the league. I mean, he's playing super well in the G League and is just waiting for an opportunity. Now, yeah, struggling is harsh, but at the end of the day, there's so much talent in the G League. It's tough for these guys to transition to the NBA. So I think all he has to do, and definitely Mikey has to do, is just put his head down, just work, stay out of trouble. That is the name of the game, and I think he's just going to be all right. Now, we got to talk about this, man. Bryce James just had another game for Sierra Canyon. And, man, it looks like Bryce is blowing up, and not for a good reason, man. People have been violating, saying Bryce is really not like that after looking at and seeing he's only averaging about 6 points per game, which is not good at all. But, man, we going to get into it. Now, take a look at this. They played against Mercy Miller, of course, used to be, I believe, on Bryce's team. They used to hoop together. And you see this graphic here, man. Sierra Canyon ended up winning 81-75. You have Justin Pippen there as well, who I believe is more of the star of this team, or the leader of the Sierra Canyon team. But let's take a look at these highlights.
Bryce James for 3. Assist Justin Pippen. Justin Pippen.
a championship game, so I got to give them some credit for winning. But this is what most people think about Bryce James. Bryce honestly seems like a kid that doesn't hold basketball as his dream. He inherited the physical gifts and has the knowledge of how to play basketball, but does he have the drive to pursue it as a career? Probably not. He should use those D1 offers and learn some tools to run their eventual billion-dollar family business. And man, I gotta be honest, on one hand, I look at how physically gifted Bryce is. I mean, you see he's about 6'6", he can shoot the ball, he's athletic, but I really think it's the mentality to get it done. And this dude definitely nailed it for sure. He has the physical attributes. I mean, he has the height. He definitely can play the game, but just the drive he obviously does not have like LeBron did, because LeBron really had no other option. This was one of his few options to be able to make it and use the game of basketball to provide and just make a better life for himself. Now, Bryce has more options, but at the end of the day, overall, I mean, with how much he's averaging, I'm going to say this right now. Bronny went through a very similar situation where people were saying he was not going to be nice. I mean, yes, he's at USC, and low-key, he's not averaging the most points, but these dudes seem like they take a little bit longer to develop. So I'm going to give Bryce the benefit of the doubt. But right now, with only averaging around 6 points per game, and it doesn't look like in all these games he's getting the most minutes, it's looking real tough. I'm not going to lie. I got to be honest.